Colleagues Getting Coffee. My name is Annelies James, and today I am joined by, drum roll, Mike Winnet.
Here I am, in the flesh. In the flesh. I am a real person. I'm
wearing your own shirt with your name on it.
I know.
I love it.
In my real office.
In your real office. It's beautiful. It's actually palatial, I have to say.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Warrington.
Thank you. The greyest place I've ever been.
Yeah, no, it is. It gets a bad press, but we love it. Well, I called Warrington yesterday. If the FTSE 100 and Silicon Valley had a child, this would be it.
I think you might be right.
It's a hub for business and entrepreneurs. That's why we're here.
Amazing. So, Mike Winnet, where did this come from? How did this all start? Tell me all about it.
It started as a joke, and it has snowballed into me becoming the entrepreneur watchdog, or policing LinkedIn from all these charlatans. That's what it's kind of turned into, and it was never my intention.
Okay.
So, a long story short, me and some of my friends set up a business in 2015. It was like a whirlwind 2.5 years, and then we sold the business for multiple millions. And they basically said to us, "Thanks for building this business. Here's your money. We never want to see or hear from you again."
Amazing.
So we were thrown out onto the streets and basically said, "You are not allowed to do what you've just done for the next 2 years.
Okay.
So here you go. Enjoy your sort of early retirement." And it was fun for about 2 weeks. And then you just get bored. You get bored. So the novelty wore off, and I was still on LinkedIn. It was the only social media platform I had. I was conscious of anything I did on LinkedIn or said on LinkedIn, if it did cause offence, because I've always kind of spoke in the Mike Winnet tone and voice. That's how I used to market the business when I had it. Caused any problems and then withholding the final payment of my money.
Okay.
So I just changed my name to Mike Winnet, and instead of taking shots at the sector I used to work in or the industry that I used to work in, which is what I used to do, I used to hold a mirror up to that and say everything that was wrong with it.
Okay.
I thought, now I'll just turn it to the problems with, I think, online gurus and self-appointed inspirational leaders and those types of people on social media, only because I had nothing else to do. So
amazing. So you talk about entrepreneurs, you talk about humble bragging.
Yeah.
There's lots of things to talk about. Can you unpack this a bit for me?
So a humble brag is where someone pretends that they have done nice deeds or they're doing nice things because they're an amazing person, yet all they want to do is show off about something different. So you probably work for charity. Would you go and take a picture of you giving blazes out to 4 homeless people to put on social media and then say, "I don't do this for the attention"? Well, if you didn't do it for the attention, it wouldn't be on. Exactly. Yeah. But a humble brag might be someone saying, "Look at the weather today," and it's a picture of their drive, and they've got their new Range Rover Sport on the drive with a bit of snow on, and it's just like, everybody, look, that I've got a Range Rover Sport, aren't I really successful? And it's like, look what I've done today, aren't I a better mum than you, aren't I a better business person than you, aren't I a better gym person than you, because I go to the gym an hour before you go.
I was surprised the other day to see someone put a baby photo on there. I was like, why have you put your baby photo on?
Well, everyone needs a reason they're doing this, aren't they? Like, I couldn't think of anything worse than putting pictures of my kids. Like, I'm doing this for my kids or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Weird.
I'm doing this despite my kids. They're holding me back, and they're taking money out of the funds, you know, putting them in school, and do you know what I mean?
I love it. Yeah, people are hungry, aren't they? Ego hungry for likes and follows.
Yeah,
it's meaningful to them.
It's become worse and worse, and obviously, and now, so humble brags have blown up, and that's kind of what I started to do. All I used to do was just parody the humble brag of the week in my mind. What is the most cringy, worst humble brag on LinkedIn this week? And I will parody that, but instead of making it, you know, the same, I would almost like give bad business advice, but so I wasn't self-aware. Like, I didn't realize this was bad business advice. So I was putting myself up as, aren't I such a forward-thinking, smart, millennial entrepreneur, business leader type character, and then giving you possibly the worst advice, like, do not hire women of childbearing age, or do not have a diverse workforce, or do hire women because there's a gender pay gap. So I was kind of tackling issues in a humorous way.
You created a big following and actually got a lot of negative attention for this.
Yeah. So I only got negative attention from people that offended. So, and I would honestly say this: my intention is not to offend anyone. If you think I'm targeting you or it offends you, well, good. that you are that person. If that offends you and you think that's about you, then you are right.
Yeah.
It was never wrote for you, but if you think it was wrote for you, then you probably are right.
Yeah.
A entrepreneur is someone that knows or thinks that they should be doing something different to escape the rat race, and they do they do a lot of the work that they need to do. Like, they go out, they go to these shows, they go to these events, they buy all the books, they watch all these motivational videos. But what they fail to do is any of the things that they're taught. So they can listen, but they'll never actually achieve anything because they've not got that ability to do so, or to be a success in business.
It's all in the action, isn't it, really?
It's action, not the law of attraction. So you can have your vision board, you can have as many things written on there as you want, but if you're not going to do anything about it and actually put that stuff into action, then nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're entrepreneurs, and they are an easy group to sell to if you're a entrepreneur, and that is who we've probably got the biggest problem with. And that's people that haven't achieved the things that they claim they've achieved, but they've created an online persona, they've created this brand, and they've created all these passive income products, but all they're actually doing is offering you or trying to sell you a shortcut to success.
Yeah.
But this is a success that they've not even achieved themselves yet. So they're banking on that success by selling enough of this bullshit course or 3-day boot camp or whatever it might be, that they'll then eventually make enough money to become the thing that they pretended they've been for the last 5, 10, 15 years.
I do have to say that any sort of these courses that you're talking about, I find that the information is incredibly basic and quite simple. And I think, how can people be making money off this?
I think it's because people are lazy and they want to be spoon-fed. Now, I find it mad the questions people ask, and I mean, ask myself, or they're asking these groups online, or asking these webinars on these courses that they've signed up for. Just ask that question, write exactly the same words and put it in Google, and there is your answer for free. Or just put that very same question into YouTube and there is your answer for free. I don't understand why, but what they would rather do is they'd love to post on their Facebook, say, great, I'm going to see XYZ, or I'm going to see Mr. 10X, or I'm going to see the next sort of online guru, because that's worth more to them than actually going and finding out the thing and quietly going about the business and achieving those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How many people post that they're going to see Tony Robbins or going to see Grant Cardone or any of these people? That's worth more to them than actually going there, getting a few lessons that are correct, because a lot of the stuff that is said there is correct, by the way. You've just paid a lot of money to hear it, but then don't do anything about it afterwards. But then also, it's mainly entrepreneurs that are selling you this shortcut dream. If you're looking at how to become a millionaire in the next 3 months, newsflash, I guarantee you won't become a millionaire in the next 3 months. The fact that you're looking for that course or you're Googling those questions, you are not going to be successful. So I position myself almost like parodying how you could create an online persona. So everybody's the number one in whatever field they choose now. Why are you number one? Because you've just changed your LinkedIn bio. So I became the UK's number one demotivational speaker. It was just a play on the fact that I am probably the only one.
And it's funny, people love it, they think it's hilarious.
Yeah, and so first of all, I was like a LinkedIn influencer, and the amount of people that used to tell me that, I've spelt it wrong or whatever, but what I was saying is these people are like a virus and it's spreading, and then what you find is people further down the food chain, if you want to call it that, are copying these entrepreneurs. So, I want to be as successful as Mr. Whoever, yet he isn't making millions of pounds a year through property. What he's making £1 million a year through, if he is making anywhere near that, by the way, is telling idiots like you how to make £1 million a year from property and charging you $1,997 to go to his course. Do you know what I mean? It's different, say, if it was Robbie Fowler, who we all know has got multiple houses. If he's doing a course, then it's more likely to be true, because everybody knows that Robbie Fowler owns pretty much every house in Liverpool. That's what they sing on terraces.
Obviously, you're spending a lot of time in this area. So, of all the entrepreneurs you've seen, is there anyone? Oh, you've obviously just mentioned this person, but is there anyone you actually think you do make some sense, and you're not overselling it, and actually maybe you have got the stuff to back it up?
The top level people that do this aren't necessarily entrepreneurs, because they have genuinely achieved some of these things. They are entrepreneurs that have then, this is what I did, here's my story, and they've packaged it in a certain way. So in terms of like biggest entrepreneurs, it's the next level down. It's if you go to an event where, say, Gary Vee's talking, Gary Vee's not there trying to sell you his course at the end for £2,000. He's not. He's just there talking, and everyone goes to Gary Vee. Let's just take him as the example. Every other speaker up until that point is trying to sell you their course. They've probably paid to be on that stage. They've probably got plants in the crowd that get up and run to stage to sign up to the course, and it's all created so you spend money buying their course. And then they use that as sort of what do you call it, like marketing opportunity or material, like, oh, here's me on stage with Gary Vee. And they'll put that out to their followers as me and Gary were on stage talking together. It's not, you've basically gone on stage and had a picture with Gary Vee, which Mike Winnet's got. I've got a picture of me on stage with Gary Vee. If I wanted to put that out in, I could then go online out to Instagram, do my market research, target any demographic that's liked or follows the hashtag Gary Vee wallpapers or Gary Vee quotes, and then I could go and craft a 30-second advert to those people and say how I met Gary Vee and sold a business for multi-million pounds, buy my online course, and I guarantee that I would sell loads of courses doing that. Absolutely guarantee it.
It's like people don't want to do the hard work, they want to stand next to someone and get a bit of a glitter.
Exactly. After going to that event and seeing these people in action and listening to like the language they use and the NLP, and it's an investment in yourself, stand up and take one step closer to stage if you're ready to make that next step in your career, and the psychology behind it is mind-blowing. But it was so obvious to me and a lot of other people. The crowd was split, by the way, but it was that event which made me realise there are so many of these shortcuts being promised by these people on stage and these charlatans, but if you did the background checks, they didn't have these multi-million pound companies that they promised, or they didn't have the credentials that they were claiming on stage, and they hadn't had the press coverage before, or if they had, it was all bought. You're an Amazon bestseller because they've used the tricks to become an Amazon bestseller. They might have sold 100 books. So these people on stage, they positioned themselves in this way, and it was there that I thought, do you know what? Instead of being negative and just calling these people out and calling them out for the bullshit that they post on LinkedIn and it's not true, I thought, well, I will now actually invest my own funds, time and effort into these topics, the 6 topics that seem to be the most promoted online. So whether it be multi-level marketing, how I became rich through selling other people's products, affiliate marketing, stocks and shares, cryptocurrency, all these different things. There's lots of others that we can look into and do them. And I'm not going there trying to be proved right and trying to make all these things fail. I want to be proved wrong. I would love to be proved wrong, and I will report it as is. And at the end, you can follow the journey. You can follow the journey on YouTube or on LinkedIn, and you can see what happens, and it will be a warts and all expose of these fields. I'm not going after individuals in these fields saying this person is a con artist. It is just an observation. Like LinkedIn, I've made observations about LinkedIn. It's an observation of passive income streams through online courses, through property in the UK, through property abroad. And I suppose the big USP of what we're doing is we are not selling you anything on this journey. You are the watchdog. I'm the Anne Robinson of entrepreneurs.
Anne Robinson. Oh yeah, she did that weird wink, didn't she? So 2019 is basically your focus on looking at all these different areas and then reporting back. So you're actually helping people who might fall into this trap themselves.
Whisper it, but I'm actually helping, and possibly I'm helping some of the people that they think I'm actually targeting, but I'm not. But again, like, I don't want to be seen as some saviour.
No.
Purely, and this is where I think people get personal branding wrong and how they position themselves online. I want this to make money. I want every investment I do to make me money, and I do become a millionaire in 6 months through cryptocurrency. I do want to become a millionaire through property in the UK and property in overseas, or affiliate marketing, because then I would say, hands up, I got it all wrong. The last 2 years have been a complete waste of time, but by the way, I'm sat on 6 million.
Well, you can't. It's a win-win, really, isn't it?
And then I write a book, and it'll be the shortest book ever. I might win it. I was wrong all along. Honestly, go and sign up to all these 1997 courses. You'll be rich.
There you go.
Just like me. But I've got a tiny doubt in my mind, or I've got a tiny feeling that I don't think I am going to get £1 million from all of these revenue streams. Do you think I am?
I don't think so, but let's see. I wonder if people will put bets on it.
Well,
people might get rich off betting on you, right?
But it's, do you know what it is? It's this society we live in now, right, where, and I've said this before on a podcast previously, if a book called The 1 Minute Millionaire can sell 130 million copies, there's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if that was next to a book that was called The 100-Hour Work Week and how I didn't pay myself for 12 months on the off chance I could get rich in the future, That's the actual story that probably 99% of you would go through if you try to do this, and by the way, are probably going to fail at that end goal anyway. So am I bad for saying that? I don't think I am.
I think it's realistic.
Yeah, so realist's another thing that I could get called, but
I think so.
A troll whose parents didn't love him, that's what I normally get called on LinkedIn. Because that's the only reason I've got a different opinion, because I'm a troll. I'm not a troll, I just don't believe that bullshit that you're trying to sell us, really.
So if you had one piece of business advice for anyone, what would it be?
Backwards plan. What is it you actually want to achieve? What do you want to achieve, and then work backwards from that point? So if you want to sell a business for £10 million and you're selling a product that you handcraft yourself and charge £5 for, just work out the numbers. How many of them things do you need to sell to sell that business for £1 million, £5 million, £10 million, whatever that might be? Then ask yourself, who would be willing to pay that? So how do I get on their radar now? What terms could they possibly want? Would they want me to do a workout? Would they want me to have a staff in place? You need to have all these ideas in place almost from the very beginning of the business for that to work. I don't think enough people backwards plan.
I think you're absolutely right.
And you'd be amazed how many people, they don't really create a business that they can exit from. And I think this is very true with especially online businesses now. They don't make a business that they can exit from and sell for a huge multiple or for a large lump sum. What they've done is created a job for themselves. Now, if you are Mike Winnet Marketing, and that's my business, and I charge people to join my group, and I am the most important part of that business, and every week I'm giving you content and stuff like that, how am I going to sell that business? Because it's called Mike Winnet Marketing. What you need to have done is have a marketing company where you can withdraw from that business, replace yourself in that business, and then sell it to a larger. But I think that bit is harder to create than it is that I'll just get a Facebook group, I'll just put out some daily videos, I'll just get a little tribe, or hijack another person's crowd, and I'll get them,
Because it's hard work, isn't it? It's hard work setting it up.
They're both hard work. They're both hard work. They all take a different part of you, I would say. One's hard work dealing with staff problems and staff issues. You might think, well, I'm on life on my own terms and stuff like that, but you're putting all that effort in, but there isn't a big exit. And that's where the rise of passive income streams have come along, because suddenly they've realised, wow, I've become Facebook famous or LinkedIn famous. How do I capitalise? Well, I'll do some merch, I'll do an online course, I'll do an ebook. So then they're all kind of, what their USP was, like, I'm quirky and I'm me, is now gone, because now you're copying everything that everyone else is doing. Does that mean?
And everyone has a book. Everyone in the world has a book.
Well, even we nearly had one.
Nearly. We didn't. Yes. Okay, so what would be your business quote, or your favourite business quote, if you had one?
I don't believe in quotes. Honestly, if you're looking for a quote to motivate you, or to have your phone lock, or your screen lock on your phone, or on your desktop, on your computer, I think a lot of the time it's just to try and show other people, well, I've read that book, or I've followed that guru, or whatever. But really, if you believe in what you're doing, and this is, you can quote me on this as well if you want to. So if you believe, so if you believe in what you're doing, and you honestly put the graft in, and you backwards plan, and you can see the path that it will take, and you do all the right action and things that you need to for you to achieve that goal, you should blank out probably most of the other noise that you're hearing from other people. So if you're sat there and you're listening to Gary Vee, and then you go from that on to Grant Cardone, you go on to Tony Robbins, and at what part of that day are you now going to work on doing your thing? So I think there isn't a quote, although one of my most popular quotes is, you've got as many hours in the day as the world's most successful people. What you lack is their drive, determination and work ethic. That's why they're more successful than you. But
it's so true. It's true.
Exactly, but a lot of people don't like that because that puts the onus on them.
Well, because you're holding a mirror up to them and saying, well, work harder and you can be successful, but people won't do that.
Yeah, I'd say some quotes are bullshit, aren't they? And we all know, work smart, not hard. Well, you can work as smart as you want, but
what
if you're
does
not...
it even mean, that?
Well, it's just a lazy person's shortcut to success. That's why it's popular. It's specifically targeting lazy people. So you can say, if I need to just chop down a tree and you give me 4 hours, I'd spend 3 hours sharpening the axe. You could probably cut down a tree with a knife and fork in 4 hours if you just get to it. Do you know what I mean, though? But I just think, because that's an easy get out. So what have you done today? How many sales have you made?
Yeah.
Oh, I've not made any sales, but you know what? I've been working on the best click funnel going, and I've got the best marketing. Oh, and then they'll go into my defrost campaign, and that is all great. Yeah. But you try and pay your electric bill with your defrost campaign or the number of clicks that you've got.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when you were saying about you've created an online brand. That is great. But none of those likes pay my electric bill.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Like I've not been able to pay my mortgage with 36,000 connections.
Yeah, it's very true. Where can people find out more about you?
They can find out more on YouTube, which is my Winnet. We have not got much content on there yet, but we're going to start posting stuff about the scams or cons that we're researching at the moment. Yeah. They can follow me on Instagram, which is Mike Winnet, and that's WINNET. And on LinkedIn, if they can find me, because obviously I get banned a lot on LinkedIn, or they don't show up in search bars and stuff like that. So I am on those 3 things.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck, Watchdog, Anne Robinson, the classic wink. Thank you.
Truly successful people wouldn't have kids because they just slow you down. That's my advice.
Amazing. How many minutes have we got?